From the Brambles, weighing in tonight at 193 pounds, this is the Hotness, Tre Lamar.
Welcome back to the Stronghold as we kick off 2020. My name's Jim Amata, being joined by Pittsburgh legend one Paul Atlas. And Paul, for this new year and the newest chapter in Ryse Pro Wrestling, we have quite a unique debut here in the Stronghold.
That's right. We have Tre Lamar debuting here tonight. He's no stranger to the Pittsburgh wrestling scene, though. Tre has been hot commodity for a long time.
An 18-year pro, Tre Ward was underlooked and underrated for so many years. Quite frankly, it drove him over the edge. You can see he has kind of an identity crisis, so to speak.
And introducing his opponent, from Cambridge, Massachusetts, weighing in tonight at 165 pounds, he is the Mathlete, Lawless.
You know, Paul, we have a newcomer here in Tre Ward's to Ryse Pro Wrestling. However, someone that has been ingrained in the fabric of Ryse is that man right there. Lewis, the heart as big as anyone. This Ryse crowd has really adopted him as one of their own.
That's right, Lewis, the Ricky Morton of Ryse Wrestling, is looking to kick off 2020 in style. But I got to ask you, Jim, do you think he's seen anybody like Tre Lamar in the ivory towers of Harvard?
Maybe behind closed doors. And here we are, January 10th of 2020. Of course, once again, I'm Jim Amata, you're Paul Atlas, and we have the belt to officially kick off Ryse Pro Wrestling here in the new year. Collar and elbow tie-up gets us started. And one thing that you're going to notice about the debuting Tre Ward's is that he is very technically sound, very technically savvy.
Oh, yeah, don't let that freaky look confuse you for 1 second. This man is a master of wrestling.
And quite frankly, his in-ring ability combined with that unbalanced mind may be a very dangerous combination. All of Ryse Pro Wrestling may be in for a rude awakening, so to speak, at the hands of Tre Ward's.
Yeah, you see Tre there trying to rearrange the eyewear of Lewis.
That's how devious that man is. He can use those glasses to somehow hurt Lewis. And well, at least we know Lewis has maintained his vision. He's kept his vision 2020 here in 2020.
This is good.
See what I did there?
I saw that. Don't do it again.
Nice escape from Tre. Grapevines the legs, and this is what I'm talking about. Within mere seconds, he has not only the position reversed, but he has Lewis in all sorts of trouble here. Lewis went from an offensive situation and now having to wrestle purely defensive.
And also the way he taunts Lewis with each and every move.
And notice how he transitioned right back to the headlock to maintain control of the position.
Yeah, like I said, do not let that strange demeanor, that strange character of Tre Lamar, don't let him fool you for a second. Like I said, this guy is very well versed in wrestling.
It's a lot of psychological warfare is what that is.
That it is, exactly. I've been on both sides. I've teamed with Tre Lamar. I've been against Tre Lamar. When you come out to face Tre Lamar, you better bring your A game.
He uses that moniker, the glammed up Mad Dog, and quite frankly, a Mad Dog is what he is inside the squared circle because Tre Lamar can be absolutely relentless. But right now, he's being outsmarted by Lewis. Lamistral hooks the leg, shoulders down. Tre went for the ankle pick, and Lewis wisely grabs the armbar. you can really see the human chess match developing inside the squared circle, Paul.
Yeah, Lewis is going to have to stay on top of things here. Do not give Troy a opening at any point in time.
Troy shooting Lewis off here. Reversal. And Troy got launched. Deep arm drag. 2 feet firmly in the chest. Signature Lewis offense on display in the stronghold.
Yeah, but see, this here could be a mistake. Yeah, Lewis got to move in here. You can't give him the chance to recover.
Troy counters. And that's what I'm talking about. That is the vicious nature of Troy Ward's. That hooking clothesline just drove Lewis to the canvas and stomping on the throat, the chest, the face.
And using that tie to against Lewis.
Troy is a real pit bull inside those ring ropes. As I said, an 18-year pro who for many of those years was underrated and underappreciated. And that lack of appreciation really drove him over the edge, which is why you see this very unique demeanor from Troy Ward's, for lack of a better term. And trying to fish hook the face. Some nasty, nasty tactics from the debuting Troy Ward's. And again, this is how not only innovative but violent Troy can be, because he has Lewis all tangled up, no way to protect himself. And right to the lumbar region of the back, the most susceptible spot to damage. And again, improv offense, improvised violence from Troy Ward's. Assaulting an opponent from each and every angle is what we're seeing here.
That's it. This man will not give you a break. Once he's on top of you, he is going to sap every bit of strength out of you. He is going to hit you in every part of your body.
Troy cinches up Lewis here. Snap suplex. And he hangs on so smooth inside the ring ropes. And again, just drops Lewis face first. And again, you're seeing some of those mind games in play.
Yeah, I mean, how easy you think was it for him to see with those glasses on?
Paul, I got to be honest here. I think that glitter, that makeup, the dyed hair, I believe that's all just a smokescreen, a mirage to get into
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes.
to get into the heads of his opponents before the bell ever rings.
Oh, it definitely is. This man does not only have wrestling down pat, he has psychological warfare down pat as well.
But Lewis here trying to rally. We know resiliency has defined the career of Lewis here in the stronghold.
And I've called him the Ricky Morton of Ryse Wrestling numerous times because of his ability to come back and gain a win out of nowhere.
Waist lock here. Standing switch from Troy.
Locks him into somewhat of a sleeper hold. Lewis was able to turn, though, and just turn it into a regular headlock.
And again, we're seeing a real physical chess match here.
Lewis with a sleeper of his own.
You can see both athletes are trying to get that leverage, trying to get the positioning. And Troy's debut may all seem like a dream if this keeps up. I don't know if chanting is actually going to put the man to sleep.
I doubt that, but oh, look out here.
Look out. Nice reversal from Lewis, able to avoid crashing to the canvas. Hooks the leg. Very resourceful wrestling from Lewis right there. Oh, man. And Troy once had a broken wrist. He may have an additional fracture with that. Cracked Lewis right in the face. But Troy got a little overzealous.
Yeah, Lewis now trying to fight back.
Lewis catches the foot and puts Troy down. Momentum could finally be building here. Look out. Diving back elbow. Lewis going to take a chance. Hooks that leg.
He's got him. No.
Unfortunately, you can see the frustration on the face of Lewis. He knows he's in there with a dangerous athlete. He's checking his teeth. He knows he needs to take those risks if he wants to get out of this matchup in one piece.
Lewis with an angered look on his face, something different. We've never seen that out of Lewis before.
And again, you can back suplex, drop Lewis right on his tailbone. And I believe that frustration you're seeing is truly the effect that Troy Lords brings to the table as Lewis is forced to kick out again. As you said, how often is Lewis frustrated like that? I believe this very unnerving personality of Troy Lords brings that out in his opponents.
Oh, he's definitely unnerving. There's no two ways about that.
And Lewis may be out of it. I don't know.
Lewis is, I mean, his eyes are closed. They're almost rolling back in his head.
This might be, wait, I think Lewis was playing possum. Lewis was playing possum. And man, would Troy have had egg all over his face if that was the... And what a discus clothesline. Troy's head bounces like a basketball.
Oh. Only able to get a 2 count.
Troy avoids the contact. Go behind here. Lewis hangs on. Oh man, precarious spot here. Kick to the spine.
Wow, you heard that thud.
And vicious cross faces. Look out. Oh,
How
man.
many times have we seen that maneuver from Troy Lords over the years? Just snapping Lewis's head off the canvas.
The body of Lewis hit very awkwardly that time. He may be out of it, Paul. He's not moving. And this Cobra clutch choke may be completely unnecessary.
Lewis is trying to hold on, though. He's fighting it. He's just locking it in now. He's got it just wrenching at the neck of Lewis.
Lewis's face is turning all kind of colors, Paul. Oh, he's out, Paul. He's out. Let the hold go.
Referee has called for the bell. Lewis is out.
The winner of this match has the result of a submission. The Hotness, Troy Lords.
The glammed up Mad Dog brings a very harsh reality check to the Stronghold. And Paul, I believe in 2020 we may have a very new look here in Ryse Pro Wrestling.
Troy Lords has arrived, and I believe he just put the entire locker room on notice.
An almost one-sided performance, and there's a lot of rage in the eyes of that glammed up Mad Dog.
Troy Lords is here, and he is all business right now.
Don't come over here.
You guys know.
Hey, all right, hey, yeah, I got you. You won. Good job. I want him coming over here.
Hey, Troy Lords has arrived.
Weighing in tonight at 330 pounds, Haim the Bruiser and his tag team partner,
Well, Jim, conspicuous by his absence is Crosshairs Kelly here tonight. Pat the Bruiser has some masked man down here with him.
Yeah, we've seen that young man at Uprise, Paul. That's Espiritu Maya, who looks to be threatened to be at ringside, I guess.
To being here against his will.
and introducing their opponents. Shawn Phoenix and the Stray Diamond Dog, Ziggy Haim. They are Keystone State Couture.
Well, Paul, Halloween was a few months ago, but I believe the Keystone State Dude Corps are on the same page.
I'll tell you what, after Troy Lawrence, I didn't think it could get any weirder, but I stand corrected.
All right, Paul, I'm going to try to shed some light on this makeshift tag team we have here with Pat the Bruiser and Espiritu Maya. Crosshairs Kelly, from what I understand, very late-breaking news I found out just hours ago. Crosshairs Kelly has an illness. A case of the flu, was admitted to a hospital earlier today, so obviously not medically cleared to compete. And Pat the Bruiser thought he would just threaten himself into a tag team partner, and here he has Espiritu Maya. And I don't think that Pat the Bruiser is going to be in a good mood.
No, not at all.
With his tag partner in the hospital. So I don't know if that bodes well for his opponents or his partner.
He's normally not in a good mood anyway. This is really...
Look out. Ziggy avoids the contact and saves her life.
She's going to have to. She's given up about 300 pounds to this guy.
And she ran into a brick wall, no question about it. And she cannot get stuck in the clutches of this mammoth athlete right here. Wisely tags into Phoenix.
Let's not forget, this is only Shawn Phoenix's second time back in the ring here at Ryse.
Yeah, he made his return to Ryse Pro Wrestling at our 3rd anniversary event, ironically against Ziggy Haim.
Well, they seem to put that little bit of insecurity to rest.
Who defeated him. So big victory for her. Interesting to note, Paul, that the last time that Phoenix and Ziggy were a tag team here in Ryse, it was September of 2018. Look out, up and over goes Phoenix. Shoulders down. Maya reverses the leverage, as does Phoenix. Wild kick was a... Look out. Small package could catch him sleeping here. And we got a stalemate.
Yeah, and this is a little bit different strategy out of Warhorse. Obviously, you wouldn't see these types of moves as Crosshair's been here.
Wucha pass, roll through. Blind tag here. Wucha arm drag off the ropes.
No idea. Well, he does now.
And Phoenix got squashed. The opportunistic Pat the Bruiser, who just chucks his tag team partner to the floor.
Told him to get out of the ring.
Now, Paul, let me ask you. I mentioned earlier here that it was September of 2018, the last time Ziggy Haim and Shawn Phoenix were a tag team here in Ryse. Despite them being tag team partners on a regular basis previously, how do you, I mean, you built your career on tag team wrestling. How do you reconnect with a partner after such a way off?
Well, it all comes down to the chemistry. As you know, the Wrong Crowd, we went our separate ways in 2000. And then in 2007, 2008, we got back together to make our run at the North American Tag Team Championships. We picked up right where we left off because there was such great chemistry between us. So if the true tag team chemistry is there, I see no problem for Shawn and Ziggy. If it's not, it's going to take some breaking in to get them back on the same page.
Well, I think with the unique costumes we're seeing here by Phoenix and Ziggy, I believe they are on the same page, at least symbolically.
At least they both know the same makeup artist.
And I kind of feel bad for Maya, I got to be honest. He's being used as a human javelin.
Yeah, I think Pat the Bruiser just wanted a body in the corner, really. He feels that he can defeat Ziggy Haim and Shawn Phoenix all on his own. And to be quite honest with you, I think he can.
Oh, man, stomping on the solar plexus of Shawn Phoenix. Just brutal. As Phoenix clutching his chest, that impact is just difficult to watch.
Yeah, when are these guys going to learn wearing ties to the ring never works out well for you?
That's Mike Rotunda 101. And Phoenix heard you, Paul, because he's taking that tie off. And I believe Phoenix just realized he's going to have to fight back here or get very, very hurt in the process.
Yeah, Shawn Phoenix, as we've mentioned before, a very long layoff due to injury. His comeback could be short-lived here tonight against Pat the Bruiser.
And listen to that thud in the corner. Look out. And Phoenix using all of his body weight and some gravity to have the Pat the Bruiser quite literally on the ropes.
5 minutes going by, 5 minutes.
But Pat is just so dynamic, Paul. One shot can change the complexion of a matchup.
Well, I mentioned before that he's got about 300 pounds on Ziggy Haim. He's got pretty much close to that on Shawn Phoenix as well. I mean, let's face it, these two are not the biggest dogs in the fight here. When you're going up against a massive man like Pat the Bruiser.
Oh, man, Phoenix got caught. He tried to head up top and did it at an ill-advised time. Got hit with that uppercut, and he is in a precarious spot right here. This is dangerous.
Pat the Bruiser could knock him into the third row with one punch if he wanted to.
Bruiser got overzealous. And again, Phoenix using gravity as a tag team partner. Spikes Pat the Bruiser into the canvas.
And for no other reason other than self-preservation, he needs to tag Ziggy Haim into this match.
Inzaguri staggers the Bruiser, pair of tags. And some miscommunication from the impromptu tag team.
And Ziggy is on fire right now.
Look out.
A little schoolyard trip there.
Again, using all the tricks in the playbook.
Double drop kick, and down and out goes Pat the Bruiser, just hanging there on the ring apron.
It may take the collective effort of Ziggy and Phoenix to get Pat the Bruiser down, but they're doing it. Ziggy's got Maya. Kicks off the Bruiser and spikes Maya. This is Ziggy's chance.
Calling out to Shawn now. She wants Shawn to climb the top rope.
And here's some tandem offense from the Keystone State Dude Corps. The Firebird is going to fly.
He's taking his time here, though. He better watch out.
And Phoenix, we saw him hesitate last month, Paul.
He's thinking twice about it.
Let's not forget it. It was going to the top that caused that injury. Caused that injury that put him out for over a year. And he tagged out. Ziggy looked confused. Jumping kick. She got tattooed right in the side of the face. Look out. Paul, Phoenix has not moved from that corner. Ziggy's fighting on her own right now.
I can't really tell from this camera angle, but he's just kind of staring out into the corner.
Ziggy spikes Maya. She got it. But Paul, Phoenix.
The winners of this match, as a result of a pinfall, the Stray Diamond Dog, Ziggy Haim, and Unbreakable Shawn Phoenix, Keystone State Dude Corps.
Paul, during that entire closing exchange, Shawn Phoenix was slumped in the corner. Clearly, that young man thought twice or even three times once he got up there on that top rope.
And has that injury taken out a lot of the mental capacities of Shawn Phoenix? He definitely was hesitant to to leap off that top rope. And, in days gone by, Shawn Phoenix didn't care about throwing his body around. And, well,
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I don't think this is going to end well for Maya.
I'm with you on that one, partner.
Oh, God. Well, get well soon to Crosshairs Kelly, and get well soon to Espiritu Maya as well.
Yeah, we may need a mop out here to get him out of the ring.
Bottom line, Paul, Pat the Bruiser is one big bad hombre, and you can bet when Crosshairs is back to 100%, Warhorse, will be a team to reckon with.
Ryse Grand Champion, the Iceman, Tony Johnson!
The man that completed an 18-month odyssey to claim that very Ryse Grand Championship. The Iceman Tony Johnson has cemented himself among the best in Pittsburgh.
And not only did he claim the Grand Championship, but he completed the clean sweep of the main event on our Ryse anniversary event last month. A two-time award-winning champion, too.
And where will the Iceman begin his reign
You guys are too much.
in 2020?
You guys make me feel like it's a new year. Wait a second. It is a new year. Happy New Year, 2020. I got belts, I got trophies. I just need medals. And then I think I'm going to have the best year ever.
Hey, Olympics are in Tokyo this year, Paul.
I've been enjoying this 2020 so far. And we're only 10
Iceman and
days in.
snowboarding.
But it made me think of last year and who your champion was last year. And for a majority of that time, it was Matt Conard. He's not a great guy, but I do respect him as an athlete, I will say. But when it came to the championship, it seemed like he kind of ducked, the top talent, kind of picked and chose when he wanted to defend. And with this being a new year, I would hate to go into that new year with the same kind of mindset of the champion.
I believe the Iceman is declaring he's going to be a fighting champion.
We'll get to a scrap or two. So this year, I want you guys to have 100% faith that the people that deserve a shot will get their shot.
Bradley, please.
Maybe 2021. You can train now, new year, new you, get in the gym, work out, with injuries.
I don't think that guy has a chance. not in this.
Finding the gym.
Shot. There's one name that kept coming up. No matter how hard he tried, either he would get cheated or someone would take advantage of an injury. You know who it is.
I actually don't know. It's Keith!
Yeah. It's Keith. And here's Keith. That's crazy how that works.
Almost as if it was on cue, Paul.
I know.
The Bearcat, the man that did have a pinfall victory, to have it overturned by a technicality against Matt Conard.
Well, Keith, it looks like tonight you won a couple Ryses as well. So, if you want to tell the people how you feel about tonight, go for it.
Thank you guys again. Well, you know, 2019, it was a rough year. It was, wasn't it? Had my ups, had my downs, got hurt, got better, but every chance I had, it did feel like it was cut down, but you know what? That doesn't matter now. It's a new year, new us, and a new year for you guys too.
Some emotion from the Bearcat, Paul.
A little bit there.
Bad boy, you got it. Bad boy. It's a new year. I greatly appreciate the shot, and I will do my best as your forever rival and friend to not let you down.
Hey, what's this, Paul?
I have no idea. Some very unfamiliar music here. And, well, it's our new general manager.
There he is. The star man himself. He won the Ryse general manager position when military intelligence defeated the Gavel David Lawless at the Ryse third anniversary show. Despite having a herniated disc in his back, he's here.
Yeah, and what kind of edict is he going to proclaim here? What is going to be his first order of business as Ryse general manager?
Kind of reminds me of Willy Wonka with that cane, Paul.
I'm telling you.
Thank you all for being here tonight. You're very welcome. And thank you for having always been welcoming of me. Last month, I was named the official full-time general manager of Ryse. For too long, Ryse has been in the grip of chaos. It has been besieged by opportunists like Matt Conard and System Elite. And I was thinking while watching Space Jam in my hotel room that I need team players. Scratch that. I need friends. Your sympathies have been noted and gratefully received. I'm your friend too, bud. No, I haven't been here much. As you can see, I'm a little indisposed, and my spine is filling with fluid as I speak. But I want to know, can I count on you guys?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Can you be team players? Because you, of all people, know what the previous champion was like.
Yeah.
Can I count on you to not be that man and be the champion I need for Ryse?
Yes.
He made it all the way through that Ryse the Contender tournament, Paul.
Right, I think he's more than ready.
If you ask me, they think they know the answer.
I
I think you are.
It's a bit of an odd phrasing, the way you phrased it. Whether I win or Keith wins tonight, the champion will be for Ryse. And that's all I can say.
Keith is probably the friendliest man in pro wrestling.
Very well. Good luck tonight, lads.
So it's official, Paul.
We have our
Enjoy the rest
championship
of the
match.
show.
Ten- Tonight, the Bearcat will finally get his fair shot at the Ryse Grand Championship. Will we see the launch of the Reign of the Iceman, or will the Bearcat grab the brass ring? We're going to find out in our feature presentation.
Introducing first, from Brooklyn, New York, he is the American attraction. He is M.V. Young.
The young man that oozes confidence and probably a few other things. M.V. Young looks to make his mark here in 2020 as he builds his reputation here in the Stronghold.
Introducing next, from Cocoa Beach, Florida, weighing in tonight at 190 pounds, he is Chase Oliver!
We got Chase Oliver in the ring, and I don't know who the hell invited you out here.
I do what I want, Jim LaMotta. I am on the poster, so I can do whatever I want here.
And making his way to the ring,
I'll get to you in a second.
from the Hall of Fame city of Canton, Ohio, weighing in tonight at 190 pounds, he is Tre Lamar!
Well, that is Tre Lamar. I was rudely interrupted by our uninvited guest, Derek Direction. I don't know what the hell you're doing here or who invited you out here.
Jim, I'm here to study these guys. I am the leader of the Ryse locker room, so I'm going to see what these guys have to bring to my promotion here.
Well,
Now he's in charge, too.
I'll say it like this. Since you're here, you might as well be useful because now you're invading our territory. You know these guys, Tre Lamar, Chase Oliver, both out of AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling, out of Cleveland, Ohio. If you can, be useful. Take the spotlight away from yourself just for 1 second. Give us some background on Chase Oliver and Tre Lamar.
If you've been hiding under a rock, you're going to see a lot of tag team interactions between these two men because they were a tag team in AIW for a long time. Tre Lamar and Chase Oliver, that is.
And from what I understand, wait a minute here, quick, shoulders down.
But Tre Lamar is so cocky, as you can see right there, him and Chase Oliver didn't last long. So Tre Lamar is in his own faction now called 40 Acres. And I hate 40 Acres. They're in an adamant blood feud with my faction, the Production.
Well, as I was saying before you so rudely cut me off, Chase Oliver, from what I understand, sustained a very serious injury, has been on the shelf for almost a year, is now trying to reestablish himself on the independent scene, correct?
That's pretty correct. But I'm out here to watch M.V. Young.
Yeah, this guy is all sleaze. I understand why you guys would work well together. Up and over goes M.V. Young. Man, soccer kick to the shins, and that is one of the trademarks of M.V. Young, innovating offense each time we see him in the ring. But Tre Lamar is so smooth and so agile, still in his formative years of wrestling.
Look at him. He's being too cocky. Chase Oliver's up right behind him.
Up and over here, and what agility from Chase Oliver. This is a young man that seems to have a ton of potential, just needs to stay healthy and have the platform to display it, and that's what we're seeing right here. Beautiful step up Rana, and what a counter. Paul, if you can, how the hell does someone get an advantage in a three-way scenario moving this quickly, but we have shoulders down?
Well, it's going to be difficult. You got to wait for an opportunity, and that seems to be what M.V. Young's doing right now, just kind of hanging out on the outside there, looking for his shot.
He is the ultimate opportunist, although that may be the athlete sitting to my left.
Look at that.
MV coming off the ropes, picked his spot to your point, Paul, planted 2 boots into both opponents.
Not only is MV Young the leader of the Poly Cult, he is the smartest man in this match.
What the hell is a Poly Cult?
I don't know. If you follow him on Twitter, you'll be understanding what he's talking about. That's all he tweets about.
And some stiff kicks here. And MV Young, a man trained in Orlando, Florida, that started his career out in Pittsburgh, is now lighting up the Empire State in New York. And it's great to see him bring his skills back to the Steel City once again, because he's trying to solidify himself in Ryse wrestling. Able to avoid the contact. Very wise wrestling there, Paul. And man, Lamar got dumped on the back of his head.
What execution in that move there by MV Young.
And Derek, I'm gonna just ask you, since you're out here, why don't you just tell us, what the hell is the Grindhouse? What's their objective here in 2021? If you guys hate Ryse so much, why don't you get the hell out of here?
The Grindhouse's objective is we're going to do whatever we want, like I'm doing right now. I'm on commentary now.
You're disrupting the broadcast. That's what you're doing.
Not only am I the director of professional wrestling.
Beautiful shooting star.
He's got him here.
Sheesh.
Amazing agility. These young athletes know the platform they have here in the Stronghold.
I know Chase Oliver is definitely wanting to make a statement here, Jim. Even though I hate him and he has stupid little armbands, he is here to prove a point that he doesn't deserve to ever be on an Uprise show. He deserves to be on the main roster here. And that's the same thing with Tre Lamar. They're both here to prove a point.
Tre Lamar took the former Ryse Grand Champion Matt Conard to the limit just a few months ago. Springboard, that's why it's high risk.
Oh,
Oliver got caught up.
That's classic Tre Lamar.
Using every part of his surroundings to generate offense. 2.5.
Where's MV Young at?
So were you just out here to spew some of your propaganda for the production?
No, not at all, not at all. I'm out here to take a look at these up-and-comers because I am the superstar of the year.
Shameless self-promotion would just never be your motive?
No, not at all, not at all. I'm for the brand, if you say.
What brand is that?
The Grindhouse, Ryse Wrestling, professional wrestling as a whole. I'm trying to make things better, make wrestling great again.
If you start wearing a red hat, I'm stabbing you with this pen, and I'm not kidding. Lamar here, trying to isolate Chase Oliver. Paul, if we can try to get back on track here, in this 3-way matchup, is isolating an opponent the best way to go about this?
Well, it can be, but it just depends on the condition of the other opponent. I mean, is MV Young truly hurt outside that ring, or is he just, again, picking his moment?
He is a man that exploits everybody. He's a real sleazebag, but he's a hell of a professional wrestler.
Yeah, but hey, this guy fights in the streets of Brooklyn, man.
Oh, man, what a back kick to the head.
Look at MV Young stirring.
5 minutes.
Yeah, Paul, to your point, in February, Falcon Arrow.
He's got him here. Has to be over.
Sheesh.
To your point, Paul, in February, MV Young having a no-ring death match during Fashion Week in New York. And don't ask me what the hell that is. The only thing I know is a professional wrestling ring will not be involved.
That's why I kind of had nothing to add to that. I mean, what in the world?
MV Young has been fighting people the likes of Casanova Valentine, Effie, and these type of matches all over the United States. They specialize in matches that are in a bar room, in a art gallery, and it's just bare knuckle. It's a fight. And that's what MV brings to Ryse Wrestling. Pure grit, sleaze. And honestly, MV is probably my, besides Shirley Doe, probably my best friend in Ryse Wrestling right now.
Man, backcracker, you want to talk about resourceful. You say the man can fight anywhere. He certainly can. We're seeing him employ the ring as a tag team partner in this scenario.
Well, that was to my point earlier. This man, like we said, he fights in the streets. He fights in bars. And, you got to be one double tough son of a bitch, the last in New York City doing that kind of stuff.
I mean, Tre Lamar has definitely taken this gang mentality right now. He aligns himself with PB Smooth and another gentleman named AJ Gray and AIW, and they are malicious, militant thugs. It's where they take what they want by any means necessary.
Well, speaking
so
of...
they're Grindhouse light.
They're not as cool as me and Shirley Doe.
Speaking of PB Smooth, that coffin that you see in the background there will be employed later tonight as PB Smooth, who you mentioned, will challenge Matt Conard, former Ryse Grand Champion. Man, Oliver charging in. And again, Chase Oliver trying to pick his spot and make a name for himself here in Pittsburgh. Oliver, what unbelievable balance, what offense. And this is a young man that's putting it all on the line. Cover here. Finds 2.
And again, look at MV Young just kind of hanging out in the corner there while these two guys beat the crap out of each other.
And that's no coincidence. He's planning and plotting with a purpose. That's one of the reasons why MV Young is so dangerous inside the ring ropes or outside of it for that matter. He's always planning, always has a strategy.
I mean, and if you look at the bigger picture, MV Young does have experience on both of these two gentlemen here.
Well, we talked about MV fighting in the streets of New York. Tre Lamar from Canton, Ohio, one of the most dangerous cities in America, and is a young man that's using professional wrestling to better his life. It's an inspiring story, but I don't think that's something that you could quite appreciate, is it, Derek?
Ah, no, I hate them. I don't care if they were trained by Johnny Gargano, they're still bums. Both of them, Chase Oliver and Tre Lamar, both trained by Johnny Gargano in the WWE right now.
Come on now, I mean, you're a director. They love a feel-good story.
Nah. I like hardship, pain, crying, drama.
Look out. Jumping Pele kick, tattooed Chase Oliver in the top of the head. Shotgun drop kick for MV Young.
Yeah,
Not
once
like
again,
that. He nearly decapitated Tre Lamar with that drop kick.
picking his moment there.
And we've got everybody down. I believe the first man to their feet here will have a definitive advantage in the conclusion of this contest.
That's if any one of them can get to their feet. None of them, they're all barely moving.
And I believe it may be gut check time here. We've seen the technique, we've seen the stellar aerial ability, but it's down to who wants it more, who wants to make their name as we kick off 2020. MV Young showing his morality there. Blatant rake of the eyes.
This tag team tandem offense between these two is going to be what the downfall is of them here.
Look out, Tre Lamar could be going for a highlight reel moment. Launching himself like a missile through the ropes. Lands on his feet. Poetry in motion.
That may be nice. Look at Chase Oliver out there. Chase Oliver is probably the most skilled high flyer from the AIW Academy.
Oh God,
he's covering a lot of ground. Orihara moonsault. Look at the height.
Unbelievable.
Chase Oliver is making his name right here.
What you guys don't know is this Ryse ring is higher than all the other wrestling rings. So that moonsault off the top was so high. Oh my God.
Shooting star press, unbelievable.
Oh.
Double stomp. Action all over the place. And it's Lamar.
Chase Oliver has been eliminated.
Lamar getting the first pinfall. Three-way dance rules here.
So that leaves Oliver eliminated and is now down to MV Young and Tre Lamar.
Tre Lamar looks exhausted, but we know this young man is such a stellar athlete. Can he will himself forward to get the big victory here? Because this matchup is a matchup we will be talking about for a long time.
Straight right hands, though, of MV Young just rocking Tre Lamar now.
Bicycle kick.
Tre Lamar's dangerous with those feet. His legs are way stronger than his arms. So when he hits you with a kick, you can be knocked out at any second. Oh my God.
And to your point, using those feet again.
Oh, low bridge
again,
there.
MV Young, so resourceful. That's really one of the trademarks of his career.
Oh!
That
Did you see
running
Tre
knee.
Lamar's his teeth fly out of his mouth there?
Right to the side of the head, right to the mouth.
And MV Young, again, showing wisdom beyond his years, puts his opponent back in the ring where he can win the matchup.
Gonna go up top here, trying to go for it all now.
And right to the lumbar region.
A lot of double stomps this match, guys.
I'm seeing that.
2.5.
Tre Lamar barely kicking out of that, though.
I believe you're enjoying this because you just like to see Tre Lamar getting beat up inside the ring, right?
I love it. I love seeing graphic acts of violence.
Yeah, why am I not
That's
surprised?
what the Grindhouse, that's our foundation.
Yeah, you're a director. Anybody tell you remind me of Harvey Weinstein?
Ha! I follow standards and practices.
Oh, look out here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Caught him
Kick
right in the
right to the temple. Lamar faked him out, drove him in.
I think MV's teeth flew out of his mouth there.
Something went flying there for sure.
These young lions are putting their names
If this is a double stomp, I'm leaving.
in the Pittsburgh Wrestling Circle.
Oh,
You're out of here.
take two. We're going to edit that out in post-production.
And how the hell did MV Young kick out of that?
Look at the look in Tre Lamar's eyes.
Lamar
He cannot
landed the
believe
shot perfectly. And you can see, and I don't blame him. I don't. So much action, so much offense, and still that wasn't enough to get it done. I may not like MV Young's attitude, but this guy is proving that he's going to give it to you.
MV's going to give it to you.
He's calling for it again.
Oh, MV Stern. MV Stern. Oh, like a cat.
Look out. Oh, this is dangerous here, gentlemen. Crashing to the canvas. Nice transition.
Hold on, though.
And again with the bridge. Shoulders down.
Oh, they're still connected.
Yeah, MV Young hanging on like a pit bull right
This is a
now.
hell of a matchup. We are seeing the future of Ryse wrestling.
And a low blow right there.
Genius.
That's also completely illegal. And MV Young exposing the knee.
Oh,
It's the shot you don't see that takes you out. And that may be it for Tre Lamar, excuse me.
MV Young with the money shot there.
Knee right to the back of the skull.
As a result of a pinfall, the American attraction, MV Young!
I may not appreciate his tactics or his attitude, but that is a match that we will be talking about for a long time.
Yeah, say what you want.
And
Came out
MV
with
Young,
victory.
he's in the W column. He's got to win. But damn it, you got to give it to Tre Lamar. A hell of an effort from a hell of an athlete.
All three of these gentlemen laid it all on the line tonight here at Ryse Wrestling.
I want to see Chase Oliver back here in the Stronghold as well.
I think all three of these guys proved that they belong here.
That's what you get when you put three hungry, talented athletes in the same ring. very casket.
Well, I can tell you right now, since losing the Grand Championship, Matt Conard has been nothing but pissed off.
And introducing his opponent.
84.
From the concrete jungle of New York City, towering in tonight at 6 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 258 pounds, he is larger than life, Mr. Fresh to Death, Pretty Boy Smooth.
If you built a professional wrestler from the ground up with all of his natural gifts, you would have PB Smooth. Size, speed, agility, power. PB Smooth has it all.
And let's not forget a mean streak a mile long.
The only thing that PB doesn't have is that Grand Championship, and he rightfully holds Matt Conard and System Elite responsible.
That he does, and that was a big basis for this match here tonight.
I'll make no mistake about it. After he saw Tony Johnson go on to win the Rise of the Contender Tournament, PB Smooth believes that Grand Championship should be his, and he wants to plant the career of Matt Conard into that casket, which it creeps me out, Paul. That's more like a coffin the way that's constructed, which is actually more restrictive than what you would expect with a casket. That's going to be even more claustrophobic for whoever gets thrown in there.
And I'll tell you what, batten down the hatches here. These two guys are going to kick the living crap out of each other.
Yeah, it goes without saying, there is no disqualification to this matchup. And this is a very dangerous matchup, as for the first time in a long time, the Reaper looks a little scared.
And
doesn't want any part of that casket.
And let's not forget, much like MV Young in our last contest, PB Smooth from the hard streets of New York City, this young man grew up fighting for his life.
And what power as PB just ragdolls Matt Conard, who is no small man. Conard trying to use his ring generalship, but he clearly is just off of his game since losing that championship.
Oh, there's no two ways about that. This man, he's like a man lost on an island by himself right now. That Grand Championship was his life. When Tony Johnson took it for him, his life took a strange downward turn.
Conard landed on the apron, thankfully, but the boot sends him to the floor. And that's concrete out there, as you can see underneath that carpet. And you can tell PB Smooth is taking his time. He's enjoying laying this punishment down on Matt Conard, who quite frankly deserves it.
Well, he fully, like we said before, he fully blames Matt Conard and System Elite for the fact that he's not the grand champion right now.
Oh, God, Paul. That may have broken the leg or dislocated the kneecap.
And PB Smooth is in a lot of pain right now after that.
And you know, with how desperate Matt Conard was after he lost that championship, he will have no remorse for anyone. Come on, Smooth. Quite frankly, Matt Conard may be more dangerous now even than when he was the Ryse Grand Champion.
Sure. He's a wounded animal right now, and you want to take this big man down. This is sound strategy. Take the leg out.
PB Smooth rightfully had a lot of confidence coming into this matchup because he was obviously very upset that his chance at the championship was dashed courtesy of Conard and System Elite, but even PB Smooth may live to regret his demands to make this a casket match, because quite frankly, that casket is what has completely turned to this matchup.
Yeah, Conard able to use that as a weapon now, and he's got the big man reeling right now.
And I believe that every seat may be a front row seat by the time this thing's over.
Yeah.
And you want to know how dangerous Matt Conard is? How often do we see PB Smooth in this type of jeopardy?
Yeah, that's very true. Conard coming
It's a
here with
rare
strategy.
occasion.
No two ways about that. He came in here with a strategy.
Caught him coming in with a knee whip, something you can appreciate. But again, that shows you the ring generalship of the former champion. Knew where his opponent was and knew the best strategy at that exact moment.
Hey, like him or not, Matt Conard was champion for 18 months. You do not do that without sound wrestling ability and a good strategy.
And again, resourcefulness and ring generalship. Bringing PB Smooth down a notch to be able to neutralize the size advantage that he has. None of this is by accident. None of this is by coincidence. All of this offense was thought out, designed, and planned by Matt Conard.
Conard knew exactly what he wanted to do before he ever got to the ring tonight.
Before he ever got to the building. I mean, you and I both know this guy is obsessive with strategy. He always had a plan when he was champion.
Yeah, that's what I said. You don't stay champion for 18 months like Matt Conard did without knowing what you're doing. Attitude aside, and believe me, the guy can be a real jerk, but he's also a very intelligent and strategic wrestler.
But PB Smooth, man, he is such a powerful athlete.
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes.
That's nothing to thumb to the eye won't turn off.
Conard going right back at that knee.
Because no matter how big, or how powerful, or how much strength you have, you can't train your eyes, for lack of a better term.
That's very true. And hey, a blind man can't fight, that's for sure.
And as someone that has had a torn cornea before, I can tell you that if something like that happens to you in there, your night's over immediately. And again, Matt Conard bringing PB down a level to try to generate more offense.
Now PB with those big forearm shots.
And again, when PB's in a vertical base, he's able to rain down those shots to pick up more momentum.
Well, he just threw Conard. And look at the pain etched on the face of Matt Conard right now.
This may sound over analytical, but a lot of this comes down to physics, Paul.
Oh, without a doubt. And PB definitely has the leverage advantage in this match.
Dropping an elbow to I believe that's the base of the neck. That'll really send shockwaves up your spine. And look at the body of Matt Conard, the torso, the chest, the back, having visible welts from the shots from the big man.
Again, able to rock PB Smooth with that kick to the chest.
I mean, as we heard in our previous matchup, Paul, PB Smooth is a regular in Absolute Intense Wrestling out of Cleveland, Ohio. He himself has championships there as well. Former Absolute Champion, former AIW Tag Champion.
Again, as I mentioned before, he grew up in the streets of New York City. Again, it was a fight for his life every day. This guy is no stranger to putting it all on the line and fighting for it.
Conard elevates himself here, allowing for a possible reverse DDT again to neutralize the height. I can't go back to this enough. It is high ring IQ from the former Ryse Grand Champion.
I thought for a second there that PB was going to be able to change the leverage on that, but Conard got him before he could. And now Conard trying to roll PB Smooth over to that casket.
And PB Smooth, he may have bounced his head very hard off the canvas. He may not be aware just how close he is to that casket.
He's inside now. All Conard's got to do is close the lid.
And that 7-foot frame does in fact fit into that casket.
Wait a minute now.
Those lanky arms, that long reach is what is saving this matchup for PB Smooth.
Trying to push back. And he does.
And Conard looks like he's seen a ghost.
Yeah, he cannot believe that PB Smooth was able to just push that.
Completely overpower him. How often does that happen for the Ryse Grand Champion?
Completely pushed that lid back at Conard. And now PB Smooth coming out of the coffin himself. Slowly dragging himself back in towards the ring. And Conard's almost begging off here at this point.
I believe for the first time in a long time, the champion is running out of pages in the playbook.
Yeah, he has left it all on the line here tonight, and PB Smooth has definitely cut him off at every turn. Big back body drop.
Conard way up into the lights that time. Hot shot.
A big boot to the face.
Paul, I'm going to say it. PB Smooth is in there with the former Ryse Grand Champion. If PB Smooth defeats Matt Conard here, could that potentially put PB himself into the championship conversation?
Well, PB Smooth has been in a championship conversation. He may have been able to defeat Tony Johnson had it not been for System Elite and Matt Conard. So I would say, without a doubt, he's in line for that championship.
And the Reaper latching onto that bottom rope.
Yeah, trying to hold on there and fight for his life here, literally.
And you could hear those hammer fists, excuse me. And Conard was trying to fish hook the man's eye.
Yeah, right back to the eyes of PB.
Disgusting.
Smooth.
I know it's legal because it's a casket match, but that doesn't make it ethical. Gonna try to take the man's sight, for God's sake.
Win at all costs. That's exactly what this match
that's been Conard's MO the entire time.
Yeah, but let's not forget, PB Smooth is the one who called for this match, so he pretty much told Conard, have at it.
And these two are gonna fight it out. Very, very risky situation. They are right in front of that casket.
Conard able to slip out the back door there.
Bicycle kick. And PB is teetering on the edge of the apron.
Hanging on barely by that top rope.
If he doesn't land in that casket, he may crack his back on the edge. This could be a career-altering scenario.
Look out there. Closer and closer as PB edges, and now he's down inside again.
And that was you heard that nasty fall as Conard again, with everything he's got, trying to force that lid closed.
PB Smooth, though, fighting
and maybe
back.
Closing on the hopes of PB Smooth to get that championship.
Conard is almost beside himself at this point, trying to think what more can he do to put PB Smooth away.
Well, this is a bitter fight, Paul. We're seeing it here.
Oh, you knew when this was signed there would be no love lost between either one of these guys with the wars that they have gone through. Conard slips out again, trying to set him up.
PB was too tall, but improvised offense. I believe a version of the Shining Wizard may have cracked PB in the side of the head.
Yeah, he definitely caught him on the side of the head with, I believe, either the knee or the shin area.
I got to tell you, Paul, the winner of this matchup, I believe you're right, could put themselves in contention for a title shot, because we are seeing a hard-fought, tooth-and-nail matchup to settle a score that was originally started over that championship. Conard, uncharacteristic, could be heading up top. But this shows you his desperation.
Yeah, he was trying to get a height advantage there. Look out!
And the casket match may be apropos, because it may in fact be time to call the coroner, Paul.
Oh, he was just planted into that canvas, was Matt Conard. Both men right now, though, showing the physical toll that this match has taken on them.
Paul, in your 30-year career, have you ever been in a casket match?
I have not, and I can tell you this right now, I really don't want to be.
And what does that tell you, Paul? You've been in every kind of match imaginable. This is a matchup that even you wouldn't sign for.
Exactly. Those things creep me out.
And I'm not taking anything away from you. You're a rational human being.
Some would say. Maybe not my ex-wives, but some would say.
It's a damn casket, Paul. And Conard got dropped. He may be out of it. Because he doesn't look like he's conscious.
No, I mean, he's almost limp there on the canvas. PB Smooth almost effortlessly rolled Conard.
Conard's out of it, Paul. This is going to be it.
Wait a minute, he was able to get that arm out.
That's a good way to separate a shoulder, too.
What's PB setting up something here?
Whoever wins this matchup, neither will leave unscathed. Right hand.
Out.
That's a knockout shot.
And it's over.
The winner of this match, Mr. Fresh to Death, larger than life, Pretty Boy Smooth.
PB Smooth with a knockout blow. Matt Conard's fate has been sealed inside that casket.
Paul, I'm not trying to sell the man short, but we may have seen the future of Matt Conard sealed in that casket. He loses the Ryse Grand Championship at the biggest event of the year. He's sealed in a casket to start 2020.
And you heard PB Smooth call the coroner.
Where does this leave Matt Conard? And where does this place PB Smooth? Because I say it with some confidence. I believe we're looking at a future Ryse Grand Champion.
I'm right with you on that one, Jim.
Second half of Ryse Pro Wrestling, Friday, January 10th of 2019. I'm still Jim Lamar. You're still Paul Atlas. And unfortunately, these two are still hashtag privilege. After coming up short for the position of Ryse General Manager, the gavel David Lawless could rebound and secure some power through the gold.
Sure, and all he's got to do is beat the main event. Good luck with that, pal.
Ironically, Paul, this is a rematch of the first round of the Ryse Tag Team Tournament, where, of course, the main event were victorious, but we have to give the Devils their due. Hashtag privilege took the main event to their limit and beyond in that matchup. Good to see that the Gavel's family is in attendance here.
I see that.
It looks great. Well, I'm sorry.
We have called them the best tag team in Pittsburgh. We have called them the perfect combination of size, speed, and power. And now, in 2020, we can call them Ryse Tag Team Champions. The Metahuman, Duke Davis. The Pro Wrestling All-Star, Ganon Jones Jr. They are the main event.
Big man, you got this.
The main event are hungry, Paul. You heard it. It's time to eat. And they are hungry for continued success. Duke Davis and Ganon Jones Jr. look to turn this title run into solidifying themselves into the history books as undoubtedly the best tag team in Pittsburgh of all time. And with all due respect to yourself, that's a hefty claim, but these two might be up to the task.
I'll tell you what, if there's anybody who's going to do it, if anybody is going to hold as much gold and make their mark in this business the way the Wrong Crowd did, I can guarantee you it will be the main event.
And as much as I love to see these two perform in the Stronghold, it wouldn't be shocking at all to see these guys on a national or international stage.
Well, they are on a lot of
Introducing first the challengers. With a combined 7 graduate degrees and 1 minor in underwater basket weaving, Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham and the gavel, David Lawless, Esquire. They are #privilege.
We're privileged! You're not! Gavel, show these morons what's up! That's right. Get 'em.
And introducing their opponents, at a combined height of 12 feet, 10 inches tall, the meta-human Duke Davis, the All-Star Ganon Jones Jr. They are your Ryse Tag Team Champions. The main event.
Athleticism personified, Paul.
Right. They spent nearly a year chasing System Elite for those tag team champions, only to win them at the biggest event of Ryse of last year, the anniversary show. And now that they've got them, they are not about to let that grip go.
Look at this action right here. Yeah, Gavel!
He'd make the Pillsbury Doughboy proud.
Well, it's good to see that Lawless has a fan in the crowd.
I'm gonna wonder how much he paid him.
Yeah, it does look like a shady individual.
Thought I saw him begging on the highway on the way in.
Gavel looks a little distracted here tonight, Paul. You would think he has like a testimony in front of Congress coming up or something.
I'm telling you.
This is called a law bond, baby.
That just set our legal system back about 50 years.
If nothing else, I think Lawless needs to be convicted for crimes against humanity.
This is true.
I'll tell you what, you must be the funniest person in your GED program.
We did last time.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, you go ahead first.
Hey, Paul, look at that lack of a tricep.
I'm telling you. And then there's the metahuman.
How does he do that?
It takes talent.
These guys don't work. Hold it.
You should be here. Why? Because he's so...
Hey, shut up! I'm trying to concentrate. You ready?
Deceptively agile is the gavel. And immediately this thing's breaking down. Clearly, #privilege has a plan here. That was way too coordinated. They knew what they were doing.
They had that in their back pocket for sure, but Don't sell the main event short. These guys aren't tag team champions for nothing, baby.
We've seen a lot of skill from Lawless and Rockingham, but the athletic ability, I don't know if any two individuals could collectively measure up to the athletic prowess of the main event. And that's why I believe that hashtag Privilege has those underhanded tricks up their sleeve.
Oh, they're going to have to, because when it comes to pure athletic ability, you are not going to beat the main event. That is for sure. I mean, look at the metahuman. This guy's carved out of stone. And then you got the Pillsbury Doughboy in there with him.
Perhaps Lawless is trying that new carb loading that the kids are doing these days, right?
Well,
he's bulking up.
I did see him at the Olive Garden the other day with the all-you-can-eat buffet.
As an authentic Italian, I'm offended of any Olive Garden references. I'm going to just say it.
Well, I would never be in an Olive Garden anyway, you know, kid.
I was going to say, come on, we're paisans. We're going to stick together here.
It's just a reference.
You and I are going to start our tag team run in 2020.
There you go.
Just not anytime soon when the main events are around. As the Pro Wrestling All-Star, it's the way that he just can heave opponents around and dictate where they're going and when they're going. Just, it's raw, athletic, natural, gifted power. So precise as the main event finds two in that exchange. The power is truly, truly awe-inspiring.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned it was a year in the making chasing down those tag team titles, but they didn't sit idle for that year. The main event traveled the country.
Oh, and again, as talented as the main event are, you can't prepare for the underhanded tactics of hashtag Privilege.
Yeah, look out here.
As Rockingham blindsided Ganon, allowing them to double team Duke. And again, exploiting any advantage, using the long hair of Duke Davis to put him in the privileged corner. And Rockingham, again, using the braids to keep Duke in their corner.
You know, I've been known to fracture a law or two in my day, and you know, I got to give it to these guys, Privilege. That is, without a doubt, sound strategy, especially against a team as physically dominant as the main event.
Fractured the law. You compound fractured the law. By the way, you ever clear up those warrants?
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Statute of limitations. Oh, look out. Shoulders down. And again, that's what I'm telling you. The physical size of the main event, it's hard to generate offense against these guys. There's no chink in the armor.
No, not at all.
Except when you do things like this, because if you're the main event, you just can't prepare for things like this. Nothing to do with the sport or the competition of professional wrestling.
5 minutes.
As Dr. Dan with that damn pamphlet. And Nick Davidson rightfully asserting his authority. And now a second pamphlet as they're cutting. That is nasty. Cutting between the webbing of the fingers. Ganon's upset. I can understand that, but this is playing into the hand of hashtag Privilege.
Unfortunately, he's not doing Duke any favors by drawing the referee away to put himself back outside the ring. Duke out the back door.
And did you see how, again, Rockingham knew exactly what to do and exactly when to take advantage of the situation.
Now, these guys may be irritating, but they are very strong, sound strategists. Don't get me wrong.
Very tactful. Absolutely, you're correct, Paul. Lateral press here. And did you see how Dr. Dan had his weight pressed across the shoulders of Duke Davis?
Well, you have to. This guy's a 500-plus pound bench presser.
It's just those little nuances that really allow hashtag Privilege to exploit every angle, every position of the main event. Like right now, utilizing the 5 count to deliver those shots to the ribs of Duke Davis.
Sure, and that's exactly what you have to do if you're going to take down the tag team champs.
Lawless very proud of himself.
I'll tell you what, he's going to blow himself up screaming his own praises.
And Paul, you can speak to this because if you notice in that exchange, Lawless put himself between Duke and Ganon the entire way through.
That's right.
There was never a clear path to make a tag.
And then going and giving Ganon that shot on the outside. He's got to try to clear the cobwebs while Duke tries to find his way into that corner to make the tag.
Now this is where the cockiness may come back to bite Lawless because he's allowing that clear path between Duke and Ganon.
A big power slam by the big man.
And those long limbs of the main event, again, just their natural gifts coming into play here.
Sure, but you know, even though he took that vicious power slam, Lawless is able to position himself so Duke has got to go over top of him to get to Ganon.
You know, Paul, there's a quote from the movie A Bronx Tale. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And Ganon and Duke have used their talent to the utmost. These guys are making the most of their God-given talent.
Got the tags there. Here comes Ganon. Bouncing around Dr. Dan like a rubber ball.
Dr. Dan may need a doctor.
Lawless takes a trip to the outside the hard way.
Lawless may need a diaper after that. Swing and a miss here. So fluid inside those ring ropes.
Beautiful transitions into that double underhook suplex.
Unbelievable agility. Brainbuster spikes the good doctor on the top of his head.
Duke checking the play, or Ganon checking the play now.
That final cut could be the end of the road. He hits it on Dr. Dan. This one has got to be over.
The end of it.
And damn it, it would have been had the gavel
at the
not
last minute
provided the interception of sorts.
Smarter than you moron. You don't deserve to hold those hands. Get him, man.
And again, a rake of the eyes is nothing you can train for. What a neck breaker by the gavel. Paul, we could have an upset here.
Yeah, he caught him.
Hashtag privilege could play spoiler to the long road that the main event took to those championships.
I'm not sure what they're trying to do here.
It's really breaking down here. And the gavel got planted.
A big knee to the head from Ganon Jones Jr. on
Hey, Paul, who's legal?
I have no idea at this point. I'm not sure if it even matters. Dr. Dan between a rock and a hard place here.
He's between a metahuman and an all-star.
And he now realizes it.
I wonder how many of those Dr. Dan wife lessons will help him here.
He's adjusting his tie there, possibly for his own funeral.
Well, we know Dr. Dan is a gritty competitor. I've never sold him short on his ability inside the ring ropes.
Beautiful tag team maneuver by the main event there.
Could this be all? No, Paul, I thought that was over. I got to give it to Dr. Dan. That's just toughness.
Incredible how he was able to, oh, wow. Lawless just posted Duke Davis on the outside.
And the gavel antagonizing Ganon. Wait, shoulders down. Come on here. They're using the ropes.
Yeah, the ref caught it.
That wasn't a damn tag. He wasn't holding the tag rope. A shot to the throat here. And damn it, Paul, privilege may do it. They may play spoiler to the main event's championship coronation. Not like this. Kick out, damn it. Damn.
Finally able to roll that shoulder and get out of there.
That was close. I don't think you get any closer than that. And if these two charlatans walk out of here with the gold,
well,
there's going to be a damn parade through Connellsville.
No matter what, you can't say #privilege didn't come out here with a plan tonight.
Look out on the apron, the spine racking against the steel. Interception from the gavel. Countered by the All-Star.
Into the arms of Duke.
And then the main event hits it. Game over.
The winners of this match as a result of a pinfall, and still your Ryse Tag Team Champions, the Meta-Human Duke Davis, the All-Star Ganon Jones Jr., the main event.
The main event victorious here tonight in their very first defense.
It pains me to say it because they are slimy individuals, but Dr. Dan and David Lawless came literally within inches of beating the best tag team in Pittsburgh. So one thing we can say is this Ryse tag division will be damn competitive going forward, but we can also say that the undisputed kings of this division are those two gentlemen right there, Ganon and Duke, the main event.
Yes, hold to the back, big guy.
You just came up a little short.
That's what she said.
And Paul, if Jimi Hendrix was here, I believe he would be proud of the guitar skills of Duke Davis.
He'd be right in between the boys, showing them how it's done. The main event, your Ryse Tag Team Champions.
Of some fierce athletes.
Introducing first, the official for this match. He is the manager of Golden Sheik International, Benjamin C. Steele.
Well, Paul, this situation is going to get a little uncomfortable for all of us because some very personal lines have been crossed throughout this scenario that's been unfolding the past few months here at Ryse. BC Steele's best friend and his business associate are at odds.
Introducing first, you definitely can't afford. He is the fashionista of professional wrestling, Calvin Couture.
Paul, let's not forget, a few months ago, it was Calvin Couture sending the message to RPW that their scheduled matchup for the evening was canceled. In reality, that wasn't the case. Calvin swerved RPW. Tyler Klein stepped in, and Calvin stabbed Klein in the back anyway.
Yeah, these are three guys who have traveled the road together, and there's been some serious dissension over the past several months between them.
Golden Sheik International have been thick as thieves since nearly the inception of Ryse. Calvin Couture was BC Steele and RPW's hand-picked partner when all this started.
Introducing his opponent.
And let's not forget the Robert Parker Williams we saw last month, who was blindsided by Mambo Italiano via the orders of Calvin Couture, was not decked out in any fancy garb. And I believe that tonight Calvin Couture is going to realize something that we all know inside this industry. Robert Parker Williams is one of the most underrated and technically savvy athletes to ever step foot in a Pittsburgh ring.
That's right, trained by the late, great Devil Budokan. RPW definitely knows his wrestling, and he is definitely a vicious individual. Calvin Couture could find that out tonight.
And you want to talk about a time-tested veteran, it's no accident that RPW is making Couture wait here, trying to frustrate Couture even further, to get Couture off of his game before the bell even rings.
Yeah, look, you can see Couture, it's getting under his skin right now.
From Guerrero, Florida, weighing in tonight at 210 pounds, RPW, Robert Parker Williams.
RPW is dressed for a fight.
And Paul, something that RPW told me just hours before this event started, that shirt he's wearing in the ring actually was given to him by his weight trainer, the late great Devil Budokan. It doesn't get much more personal than that for RPW.
Like I said, if you look at it right now, RPW doesn't look like he's dressed for a wrestling match. He looks like he's dressed for a fight.
And as I said, last month, RPW got jumped by Mambo Italiano. Where the hell does BC Steele fit in with all of this?
I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. What the hell was that? The bell didn't even ring yet. Now, wait a minute. That gives a decided advantage to Couture as the bell rung after the low blow. Perhaps BC Steele just wanted to get this one over with.
It looked like he was turning to tell the ring announcer to ring the bell, but was he really?
And now Couture was upset that BC obviously didn't fast count that there. As I was saying here, when RPW was jumped by Mambo last month via the orders of Calvin Couture, BC made his way to the ring with RPW, but left somewhat begrudgingly with Mambo. So again, there was no indication what decision that BC Steele has made. And it's become clear here that with the Golden Sheik has disintegrated.
Oh, there's no two ways about that.
It's not so much of what's the status of Golden Sheik, it's the status of who is BC Steele going to back going forward. And now he's admonishing Calvin. Perhaps Steele is going to allow this one to be a fair fight, and maybe he'll walk with the winner. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He broke up that count.
I mean, he has been real-life best friends with Robert Parker Williams for nearly 2 decades, and that's real life. They broke into the wrestling business together in their teen years. He has personal history with no one else more than RPW. However, when it comes to his business acquisitions, Calvin Couture has been one of his most successful prospects.
Well, sure. Calvin Couture has made BC Steele a lot of money over the years.
And this is that nasty nature of Couture. Couture's not worried about the bow ties or the ring jackets anymore. He is incensed. He believes that RPW is not providing him with the best chance for success, and I believe that's a debatable point because, as we said, RPW is as tested as they come.
Sure, but you know what? I got to mention it. As of right now, it looks as though BC Steele is going to try to hold the leather of law right now in this match.
Well, Paul, I've made reference to it occasionally, and I'm not trying to break the fourth wall here, but I do know BC Steele outside of professional wrestling, and I asked him straight up, and I said to him, I said, what's going on here? He either refused to give me an answer or just claimed that he has no idea where Couture's head is. Whether that's true or not, I don't know how much of that you can believe.
A loser.
And Couture is just a wretched individual, I'll tell you that. I've not always agreed with RPW's tactics, but I can tell you that the man's a hell of a professional wrestler, so anybody that's selling him short is keeping their eyes closed. Perhaps it's just the ego of Calvin Couture. Perhaps Calvin Couture just wants Golden Sheik to be all about Calvin Couture.
Is the future.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you've noticed over the course of the last few months, Calvin Couture's demeanor and attitude has definitely changed. I mean, the man has always been full of himself.
He has a bona fide mean streak.
But that's exactly right.
I believe it's only emerged when Golden Sheik as a team has faced some adversity. And I'm still trying to figure out where the hell BC Steele, where his allegiance lies, because when it comes to professional wrestling, you just can't trust the guy.
Yep.
However, he knows RPW outside of professional wrestling.
Right, and like I said, it seems right now as he's trying to call a fair match.
Lateral press here. I mean, I hope I'm not taking this too far, but even you can confirm this. Ben was the best man at Bobby's wedding a few years ago.
Well, yeah,
so it shows you how close these guys are.
But at some point, does money overcome friendship?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Beautiful neck breaker.
RPW trying to dig down deep now.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of punishment because he got blindsided with that low blow before the damn bell ever rang. And somehow, for the first time in his life, BC Steele is calling it down the middle.
Here comes RPW firing back now. Heavy shots in the corner.
Look out. Back suplex. And Paul, I have to think in some ways wearing that ring shirt that was given to him by his weight trainer, Devil Budokan. Lateral press here finds two, may be symbolic of how serious RPW is.
Oh, it's without a doubt.
I believe RPW knows, as Calvin Couture knows, that these two athletes are at a crossroads in their professional careers.
Well, let's put it this way. I don't think we'll be having dinner together anytime soon after this.
Step up Enziguri, I believe, may have caught RPW in the shoulder or the base of the neck, which can be as disorienting as it is causing an injury. RPW out the back door. Cinches up Calvin, could be going for that half and half. And you hear the contact.
Yeah, heavy shots to the base of the neck.
And drop Couture high on the shoulders. Couture is quite literally cross-eyed. He's seeing stars. He doesn't know where he is.
RPW is still trying to gather his thoughts here and get himself.
Whoa!
Somebody just flew by us here. I don't know exactly what's going on.
Wait, that's Tyler Klein, the same guy that Calvin left high and dry last month. And he's trying to give the chair to Calvin.
BC Steele has his foot on the chair, though. He's not going to allow it to happen.
If nothing else, BC Steele is not going to allow his best friend to get blindsided with that chair.
He's taking it away from Couture now.
And for once in his life, maybe BC Steele is showing some guts when it comes to professional wrestling. Showing some integrity when it comes to... But what the hell was that?
I think you spoke too soon, Jim. He just blasted RPW in the side of the head with that chair.
That son of a bitch!
Well, I guess we know where his alliance is now.
As a result of a pinfall, the fashionista of professional wrestling, Calvin Couture!
chance to get in the ring.
Without a doubt, this was planned all along.
And I'm sorry, Paul, I'm upset. Paul, at one time, this matchup may have been considered a very special showcase, but quite frankly, I'm concerned with the motives of that evil man right there.
First, hailing from 42nd Street, accompanied by the Neon Tarantino, Derek Direction, weighing in tonight at 266 pounds, he is Shirley Doe!
Why is this man in professional wrestling? Because he can legally torture his opponents inside the ring ropes. We heard it earlier from Derek Direction himself. The Grindhouse, they get off on being able to destroy things. They get off on trying to cause pain and suffering, and they get off on disrupting this project that has brought many people together from every background. Paul, you and I became a broadcast team, and I appreciate the fact we're a well-regarded broadcast team because of Ryse Pro Wrestling.
Well, that's without a doubt. And you know what? Shirley Doe is one of the most sadistic men I've ever seen in this wrestling business. He's been involved for decades now. And I'll tell you what, I honestly believe he would smack his granny in the mouth for 20 bucks.
Shirley Doe has no conscience and no soul. And Derek Direction is such a narcissist, he wants to make his name off of burning Ryse Pro Wrestling to the ground.
Before this match begins, that stuff is like 10 years old. Is that the best you can do? Is that the best that Connellsville can do? I want to hear your hate, you stupid fools. It's 2020, a new year, and you're just as stupid as 2019.
The venom he spews is disgusting.
I want 10 seconds. Damn it!
Well, that's good. At least our production team is not going to give Doe what he wants.
And introducing his opponent. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in tonight at 82 kilograms, he is Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty!
I say this with no hesitation. That man that you're seeing walk to the ring right there, that young athlete, is the brightest prospect in Pittsburgh wrestling today. One day, we will be watching his star shine on an international stage.
He is the man from the moment I met him. I have called money. You are right, Jim LaMotta. This man is the future of the business.
But Shirley Doe wants to put out that light. He wants to extinguish the flame that burns with Lee Moriarty. He wants to put his star down.
Shut up, you fat fan right there. I hate you.
Now, Paul, we have some unique rules in this rounds matchup. If you don't mind, I'll give our fans a quick synopsis of what you're about to see.
Sure, let's give them the rundown.
A rounds matchup. The rounds system was originally developed in the World of Sport style in the UK, a European style where, quite simply as it sounds, each round will consist of 3 minutes. In the European style, names like Johnny Saint, Tony St. Clair, Marty Jones, of course William Regal, Fit Finlay, several athletes created a legacy of this style. It's a very famous style, again, over in the UK, throughout Europe. Catch Wrestling CWA with Otto Vaughns in Europe throughout the years. What you're going to see here is the strategy of these matches. Because they are a round system, it really provokes a offensively minded matchup because you only have those 3 minutes at a time to work through those matches.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think this style is going to benefit Lee Moriarty more than Shirley Doe, believe it or not.
Absolutely, because for the first 4 rounds of this matchup, it's standard rules. In the 5th round, it would be anything goes to determine a winner.
Right, and I think right now Shirley Doe's, if he has any strategy, it's going to be to try to get to that 5th round.
2 minutes remaining in the first round.
Shoots the half here. Front chantry by Lee. Doe sits out. Front chantry. And look how Doe still able to wrestle circles around the young apex of combat. And that's what makes Doe so damn dangerous, because he has all of those skills in his toolbox, and he uses all of them to punish his opponents.
Sure, I mean, we look at Shirley Doe and think of her as a sadistic individual that just likes to punish and brutalize people. But this man is trained in the dojos of Japan. He knows professional wrestling inside and out. He knows his holds. He knows his maneuvers. And he's showing it right here.
Notice how Doe, back heel trip, maintains control of the ankle and looks to wrench away here. Moriarty floats over, uses his own momentum to escape. Borrowing the arm here.
Going for that ankle is sound strategy by Doe. Of course, a lot of Lee Moriarty's maneuvers come from his leaping and jumping ability.
We've talked about it on several occasions. Lee Moriarty studies every style of professional wrestling, including this heavily influenced in the European style. Shoulders down here. And notice how we immediately tried to attack that arm because, again, in the rounds system, you have to push forward.
Sure.
Paul, a note that I think is worth to be mentioning. Just last month, Lee Moriarty had a series of matches with Alex Shelley, who is well known for his European style. So Lee bringing his recent experience into the stronghold here.
Sure, it's like I said, the man is money. He's traveling the country. He's been to Mexico. I know he has plans. He's trying to get to Japan. This guy is just...
10 seconds remaining in the first round.
And here it becomes... And look at Moriarty manipulating the digits of Shirley Doe.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And if he breaks Doe's wrist, excuse me, I'm not going to feel bad for Shirley Doe. A few broken appendages are the very least that this man deserves.
Hey, let's face it, he wouldn't hesitate to break your arm, so. Oh, well, good. Derek's going to kiss it and make it better.
You know, Paul, love is love. Those are two evil guys.
That was a little uncomfortable for me, I got to admit.
Because they're two evil individuals.
All right.
There's no love in the heart of Shirley Doe for anybody.
I don't think the man has a heart.
And I believe we officially start round 2 here. Doe with a front face lock. And notice how he tripped Moriarty and floated over into full mount here. And this is where Doe can use that Japanese influence that you mentioned to rain down some shots. Lee out the back door, and he slaps on an ankle lock. And quite frankly, I hope Lee breaks his damn ankle. And if you're wondering why Doe would opt for a slap in that exchange, you do not want to break your hand in a rounds matchup.
No, not at all. Because
in between rounds, your opponent can try to recover, which could put you in peril if you're going in with an injury in the later rounds. And what a forearm from Moriarty.
Lee can throw some very heavy forearms. There's no two ways about it.
Oh, God, you heard that.
Oh, wow, that was a hell of a reciprocation.
2 minutes remain in round 2. 2 minutes remain.
Paul, you talked about Moriarty's aspirations to travel internationally to Japan. Cacciatore Shibata is one of his influences, and that's what you're seeing here. A lot of those strikes are from that constant study of the apex of combat. He truly earns that moniker.
Sure, this guy does his homework.
Axe kick to the sternum there, which, again, I don't feel bad for Doe. And perhaps Moriarty wants to extend this matchup for the opportunity to beat Doe down.
Yeah.
But that shows you the psychological effect that Shirley Doe is having on the apex of combat.
Sure. We mentioned it last month on our anniversary event. You know, Doe has brought out a very different style of Lee Moriarty, a very different Lee Moriarty. Lee is actually becoming somewhat more vicious in his tactics. And, you know, Lee would not be one to bend or fracture a rule, but that's not the case here anymore.
The scars on the soul of the apex of combat from this rivalry may never fade, Paul.
No, not at all.
This war with Doe may fundamentally change who Moriarty is as he drives the knees into the chest. And I'm not sure why Derek Direction is being allowed out here, by the way. He doesn't have a manager's license. But then again, if you get security to physically remove Derek Direction, it interrupts this event, which is exactly what the Grindhouse wants as Moriarty drops the feet down across Doe.
That forearm right across the jaw, too, as he made that pin attempt.
10 seconds remain in round 2. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And to your point earlier, Paul, these early rounds are favoring Moriarty because this is the second round in a row where he was seconds away from securing a potential submission win when this rounds system came into play.
Come on! There's no winners in these rounds. This isn't a straight fight.
Oh, that's the other thing we got to mention here. It's the one useful thing that Derek Direction may have contributed to this broadcast. These rounds are not scored individually.
You ready? 4. Got time. I'm getting real sick of this. 5.
Now, this is almost individual war game style. There's not going to be a winner determined until we get to that 5th round.
If we get to the 5th round. And if anything goes, here's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, God. Look at the jaw ricochet on impact as Doe tries to smash Moriarty with those shots.
Yeah, I've mentioned those forearm shots by Lee Moriarty and how heavy they are. But yeah,
oh,
without
God.
a doubt,
Listen to that sickening thud. The contact, the thud, those audible impact tells the story. Jumping knee caught Doe on the button. That could be a knockout shot.
Right between the eyes with that shot. Did Lee catch Doe on that one? Now, wait a minute.
What's Direction doing out there? And Derek Direction not only blindsided Lee with a gallon of water, he may have taken out one of our cameras.
He just literally just slammed that into the side. You know, I know that's water, but when you got a gallon of water.
2 minutes remain in round 3. 2 minutes remaining.
And that's how much Derek Direction does not care about anybody here. Because he could have ruined our damn equipment from IndyWrestling.us who bring these events to the masses.
Man, they need to fix this building. It looks like
You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Derek Direction is a damn slime ball. He is a walking disease to professional wrestling.
And they just played this referee perfect as Shirley Doe got his attention while Derek Direction did the damage.
high quality
And those Kawada-style kicks, another Japanese competitor that influenced Doe. Paul, let me ask you something. How sick does Doe have to be that he revels in this response from the audience? He revels. He gets off on hatred.
Well, the man is pure evil. We've known that for a long, long time. He has no heart. His soul is black as coal. I mean, this guy is just, he just doesn't care. Humanity means nothing to Shirley Doe.
stiff short arm clothesline sends the apex of combat back down to the canvas. And Paul, I have told you and our audience on many occasions
10 seconds remain in round 3.
how talented Lee Moriarty is. But I am legitimately concerned that Shirley Doe may try to end Lee's career
3,
at any moment.
2, 1.
That's exactly what he's trying to do, is end Lee Moriarty's career. Doe does not want to win a wrestling match. He wants to physically harm Lee Moriarty. And that has been his plan for nearly a year now.
And as we're seeing these rounds progress, Doe is getting the upper hand here.
Yeah, I really thought this round system would be more beneficial to Lee, but right now, it seems like Shirley Doe has found another gear here.
And you know as well as I do, if they get to the 5th round, the first thing that Derek Direction is going to do is blindside Moriarty.
Oh, I'm sure.
And this is where Lee cannot be. He can't get boxed in the corner with Doe. I think Doe may have caught Moriarty in the ear that time.
Yeah, knocked his equilibrium off. Lee now trying to fight up from the canvas with those kicks.
And finally catching Doe in the head may have provided Lee a moment of surcease from the assault from Doe. And this is again the sadistic 6-sided Doe.
Yeah, wrenching on the neck.
Yeah, I mean, he's twisting the man's neck, Paul. I mean, if he injures Moriarty's neck, that could put him on the shelf for an extended amount of time.
That could end his career.
You know, Paul, I've given Doe credit for all of his accomplishments in professional wrestling. But the things that he has done inside this building are reprehensible. They really are.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you one iota.
Shotgun drop kick from Lee.
Since coming to Ryse Wrestling, he has had a vendetta not only against this company, but against everyone in it. I mean, as we've seen in the past, no one, including our owner's wife, Christy Kay, has been safe from Shirley Doe.
Diving European uppercut in the corner. And the apex of combat is reaching a second gear.
He's trying to dig down deep now, is Lee Moriarty. He's going to have to if he wants to survive the rest of this matchup.
That's one of the things I'll agree with Derek Direction on. There's no reason to hate anybody for beliefs or whatever. You know, hey, can't we all get along somehow, some way?
I don't know. Some guys just don't know. They just don't learn.
Look out here. Racking the neck of Doe there. And again, I'm not going to cry any tears for Shirley Doe. Jumping bicycle kick. And Doe is down. We have another knockout scenario here. Doe is not moving, and Derek is trying to revive him. Direction frantically trying to fan Doe to bring him to.
Yeah, and Lee's still trying to clear some of the cobwebs out of his head alone. And, you know, like we said before, Lee is a very accomplished
10 seconds remaining in round 4. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now we're going to round 5, Paul, which means you and I both know that it's no secret what's going to happen here.
Absolutely not. This is no.
Although if Doe's out of it, maybe Direction would have to defend Doe temporarily. I'm not sure what the hell is going to happen here because the Grindhouse is so damn unpredictable. No one is safe from these guys.
Well, Doe's stirring slightly here, so he's at least somewhat conscious.
Get up, wake up.
Referee exercising a 10 count here.
Wait a minute, cover here. Very smart by Moriarty. And if this was a normal matchup, that obviously could have been a 3 count about 10 or 15 seconds ago.
But was that the plan all along? Was that the plan all along to bait Moriarty in?
Axe kick to the shoulder blades. And Lee may try to stomp Doe into submission. And Doe has earned each and every one of these shots. He's earned each and every one of these kicks.
Now, Lee knew going into this he may have to go to a place where he doesn't want to go if he wants a victory in this match here tonight. If he wants to eradicate Shirley Doe from Ryse Wrestling, he knew he may have to cross a border here.
And for the first time in this matchup, Doe seems a little helpless. I wonder if he likes how that feels. Like when Christy K was helpless.
Sure.
Wait, Lee's perched up top.
Wow.
Diving shot to the back of the head.
Drilled him right at the base of the neck.
Damn it.
Moriarty's beside himself now. I know he's got to be wondering, what does he have to do to end this thing?
Lee is going to a very sadistic place to compete with Doe here. And what's Doe reaching for in his pocket? I don't know what Doe had in his hand. Boxing elbows here. Silly head two, Doe hit it. Oh,
wow,
man.
He just jacked his jaw right up with that shot.
Paul, we may be out of this thing.
That was a vicious shot from Shirley Doe there.
You could see how Doe just bull rushed with all of his momentum connected right on the point of Lee's jaw.
Direction sliding a chair, and it's legal. This is anything goes.
And this is Doe's true objective. He wants to hurt Moriarty. He wants to put the brightest star in Pittsburgh out of this sport. Turnabout fair play.
And Moriarty just lit him up with that kick.
Now wait a minute, what the hell does Direction have?
Some sort of powder.
The Direction has those glasses on. What a clown.
Oh, well, that affected him a lot.
Now wait, Moriarty's got Doe in the ring. Derek's on the floor. Clearly, Derek Direction is going to try to get involved in this thing. Look out!
Moriarty just tried to neutralize that factor.
Into the seats. And he lands on his feet. That is the apex of combat right there. And now wait a minute, now we see what Doe was reaching for in that pocket. A trap. This was a setup, a damn trap. Oh, God.
He just flipped him. Took him right out of his shoes. Doe announcing that this is the end of it here now.
And Doe's looking for something, and he knows where to look. And again, I shudder to think, what the hell?
Heck has he got there?
Is that a toolbox?
A miniature toolbox of some sort?
Paul, somebody's going to have to step in here because Moriarty's going to... I know it's anything goes, but...
It's a chain. He's got a chain.
Like I said, that was too convenient. We know exactly what they were going for here. Doe knew exactly what he was trying to do, and he's going to try to knock Moriarty's head off with the damn chain.
But unfortunately, it's
Come on,
legal.
George.
This is anything goes. George can't do anything about it.
But this could be Moriarty's career, Paul.
You're gonna die.
Thankfully, Moriarty countered it. And I hope he breaks Doe's damn arm.
He's got it locked in here. He's got that arm bar locked in, trying to reposition himself.
Oh, he broke the fingers, and Doe deserves it.
Lee trying to tie him up with that chain now.
That chain is wrapped around Doe's face,
around his neck, his arm.
And he may break the arm. He may pop that elbow, and Doe is tapping out. I have never seen Doe submit.
Your winner as a result of a submission, Tiger Style.
I have followed Doe's career for almost 2 decades. I've never seen him tap out.
No. Incredible what we have just seen here. Lee Moriarty is causing Shirley Doe to tap out with that armbar, with that chain wrapped around him.
It was a violent spectacle.
And we knew it would be.
There were bruises. There's possibly broken bones. But I'm going to tell you what, Paul, I don't give a damn. I'm throwing impartiality out the window. Shirley Doe deserved everything that just happened to him. No sympathy for the man that attacked Christy King. No sympathy for the man that low blows Brandon King.
Submission, Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty.
Lee Moriarty has once and for all hopefully put an end to this between himself and Shirley Doe.
A measure of revenge for the apex of combat in this war with the Grindhouse.
This war between Ryse Wrestling and the Grindhouse, it's over!
Lee Moriarty declaring the battle. The war is done. Victory being claimed by Lee Moriarty.
Well, Derek Direction is calling for help. I don't think there should be any.
Shirley Doe dragging himself out of the ring now.
Doe may have a broken arm, but he deserves it. Paul, but now the question is this the end of the war between Ryse and the Grindhouse?
I don't know. I mean, Lee's declaring it over, but
we gotta get our ring cleared up here.
What kind of place are you guys running here? You can't get a medic out for him? His bone's hanging out of his freaking arm.
You think it's funny?
I didn't say anything, Doe.
You think it's funny?
I said you deserved it. That's
You think it's funny? You think I deserve this?
Hey, easy, pal.
That's all our equipment. What are you doing?
I'll break you too. I'll break you just as easy.
What did I do to you?
You don't talk. You don't talk about me.
Well, get the hell out of here. I want to talk
Don't
about
tell me what to do.
Chill out, boy.
Break our damn equipment.
And the Bobcat launches himself.
Making the count. There's the bell. What's going on here? Wait a minute. The referee is taking the belt away from Keith.
I talked to the referee. He did not see that fall. The decision is a disqualification. Matt Conard is still the champion.
Keith Haught, you seemed so excited for this first round of the tournament versus your former tag team partner and the person you know like the back of your hand, Iceman Cody Johnson.
Prime athlete, just entering the prime of his career.
out of all the people in this tournament, Keith Haught has probably come the closest to dethroning Matt Conard.
Grounds for disqualification because that was incidental contact. Johnson with the leaping kick, hit it on the button, and good night.
Tony Johnson moving on, the rise of a contender.
Do you feel like tonight might have been your last chance at the Ryse Grand Championship?
He got him.
Kick off the top.
He got him.
Make the cover. Go for it. He hooks the leg.
New champion. He got him. Tony Johnson is the new Ryse Grand Champion.
Do you feel like tonight might have been your last chance at the Ryse Grand Championship?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure how much of our crew caught that. Doe came over here and wrecked our damn table.
I don't know what the hell his problem is, getting up in your face. You didn't do nothing.
I've been told we're still on, so thank God for that. And here, January 10th, 2020, Paul, our first Grand Championship matchup of the new year will be the man that came almost as close as Tony Johnson did to defeating Matt Conard for that championship. The Bearcat, Keith Haught. And what a story it would be if Keith Haught is able to win his first Ryse Grand Championship here in the new year.
Yeah, as we saw in our video package before, Keith Haught actually pinned Matt Conard. Unfortunately, the title was returned to Matt Conard after that match due to a technicality. But now he's going to get a fair title shot, as Tony Johnson said earlier tonight.
It's going to be some dread.
After wrestling his way through the Rise of a Contender tournament, it was the Iceman Tony Johnson doing what nearly no one else could do as he dethroned the Reaper Matt Conard for the Ryse Grand Championship. It was an emotional night as the main event collectively celebrated at Ryse's biggest event on the calendar, the 3rd Anniversary Spectacular. However, we're going to see, was that emotional victory, how draining was it for the Iceman, and will he be able to refocus himself not as challenger, but as champion?
What was that?
Introducing first the challenger, from where the wild things are, weighing in tonight at 238 pounds, he is the Bearcat, Keith Haught! And introducing his opponent, from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in tonight at 195 pounds, he is the Ryse Grand Champion, the Iceman, Tony Johnson!
Once again, January 10th of 2020, my name is Jim Amata, being joined by Pittsburgh legend Paul Atlas. This is your feature presentation being presented to you via IndyWrestling.us and the Indie Wrestling Network. It is the Iceman Tony Johnson making his first title defense against the Bearcat Keith Haught.
And the era of Tony Johnson kicks off here tonight. This is where we find out. You know, Tony Johnson went through all those men on his way in the rise of a contender. Beat Matt Conard in the championship match last month, our feature presentation. But here's where Tony Johnson may just find out it's a lot easier to get to the top of the mountain as it is to stay there.
And that's the one thing I wanted to ask you, Paul, before we really get into hot and heavy into these things here. You've won numerous championships throughout your career. If we name them all, quite frankly, we wouldn't have enough time on a broadcast. What is it like when you switch roles from challenger to champion? What added pressure? How is that different? How will Johnson specifically have to adjust his game in the role of champion?
Well, let's face it. You go from being the hunter to being the hunted. You go from single-mindedly going after one man in an attempt to get his championship to having people coming at you from all sides to get that championship from you. So it's a totally different mindset. Again, you focus on one man, you get the championship, but now you've got to focus on all the contenders that want that championship.
Absolutely. It's as much of a mental exercise as it is a physical exercise in terms of staying focused. And Johnson picks the angle, showing off his agility, but Haught counters with a go behind. And these two do know each other very, very well. They've competed against and beside each other several times throughout their career. Johnson shoots in for the leg, sits out, front chantry. Keith does the same. And notice how Johnson, sign of a true champion, got his shoulders off the canvas immediately.
He said immediately try to roll back to that vertical base. And a nice exchange there by these two gentlemen.
And you can see how well they know each other, how evenly matched this contest is.
Our crowd somewhat split here, it seems.
Yeah, certainly I believe this crowd appreciates the fact that these two athletes really want to put out the best title defenses possible, the best matches possible, the best action possible, the best competition possible. It's Keith trying to really cinch in now on that headlock. Roll through here, captures the leg momentarily.
Yeah,
and notice how Johnson was defensively wrestling and ended up being a pinfall predicament for Keith Haught.
Sure, and you know, there's a quite difference here in these two gentlemen. Both have leverage, but both have leverage in a different way. Keith Haught has that low center of gravity, where Tony Johnson has that height advantage.
And that's what I think we're really seeing play out here is they try to figure out, you know, who's going to get the advantage. Johnson right now, as he grabs head control, Keith gets out. And if you notice here, the reason why you're not seeing any quick burst, so to speak, for lack of a better term, is because no one wants to make a mistake when you're on this stage, because quite frankly, this opening feature presentation for the year could really set the tone for the rest of the year.
Sure.
You know, someone here, whether it be Johnson or Keith Haught, they want to make 2020 the year that they solidify themselves in the annals of Pittsburgh wrestling history.
Sure. Not only that, you know, like we mentioned before, these guys know each other inside and out. So they know each other's strengths, they know each other's weaknesses. So they're going to do everything they can not to let the other one exploit any of those weaknesses.
You know, as the Pittsburgh region has so much history behind it, you know, the Brunos, the Shane Douglases, the Kurt Angles, the Matt Conards, the Jack Pollocks, the Sterling James Keenan, Shima Zion, etc., etc. There really is such a standard for, you know, who really represents the Pittsburgh area. And the Grand Championship is a part of that pecking order.
Sure.
Beautiful agility by Johnson. Nice Japanese arm drag to come through by Keith Haught. They know each other so well, as you pointed out. But as I was saying, you know, when you have that extensive history all the way back to Chuck Martoni, Hurricane Hunt, etc., etc., you go back to even studio wrestling days. I mean, even when you were a youngster.
Thank you.
I mean, when you have that much history in one particular region, and there's obviously throughout the country, there's different spots that have deep wrestling roots. When you have that wrestling history that really, I mean, there's a lot of pressure to live up to being a champion in Pittsburgh.
Oh, there's no two ways about that. Yeah,
I mean, this is a blue-collar city. And, you know, I'm going to give you a shout-out to the late, great Grandpap Lamont, a steel mill worker for 30 years, World War II veteran. I mean, there's not only is there so much history, but there's so much. Everyone has that connection in some form or fashion to the blue-collar style of Pittsburgh wrestling.
Oh, there's no.
You got to earn it, and no doubt Johnson earned that championship, but he's going to have to defend it.
By 5 minutes.
Sure, and to some degree, Keith Haught deserved the right to be here as well. As we stated before, you know, had it not been for a technicality, he would have been the champion that Tony Johnson may have faced at the anniversary event.
Absolutely, that's a hell of a point. There's that low center of gravity reference to. Man, deep European uppercut. You can hear those shots.
Yeah, this is breaking down here a little bit now from a catch-as-catch-can to a little bit of a brawl.
You know, Paul, one of the things that make Keith Haught such a magnetic and charismatic person is that, to coin a phrase, he doesn't look like the athlete of the day is supposed to look. But the bottom line is he gets it done inside the squared circle.
As a little tribute there to the late, great Dusty Rhodes with the flip-flop and fly, like you said. Not like the athlete of the day.
And he doesn't need to be because he gets it done in the ring his way.
Oh, there's no two ways about that. Yeah, Keith Haught is proof that maybe you don't have to be 6'5" with abs to make it in this business.
Haught here, using those unique gifts in that exchange, using all of his weight to run over Johnson, who got his shoulders off the canvas.
And not only that, he got Johnson's own weight above his shoulders, if you noticed in that pin attempt.
And I believe it's those little nuances that you don't see in high-caliber matches outside of something like a feature presentation. It's those little things that make the true difference.
Sure it does.
Man, what a vertical leap. Pinpoint precision from Johnson.
Yeah, he caught him right on the top of the head with that kick.
2 count there.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that the size differential may have worked to Tony Johnson's disadvantage on that kick. On a normal person, he would have caught them right on the jaw. But he kind of caught Keith on the top of the head, a little bit harder part of the skull, which may have saved Keith from getting pinned there.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things, Paul, I mean, this may sound maybe a little too cliche, but I think it fits anyway. There really is something special with Ryse Pro Wrestling.
Oh, there's no two ways about that. The top competitors are here at Ryse Wrestling to compete because this is the place to be right now.
And Johnson launching himself at Keith Haught. That was a rough collision on the ropes. Hooks the leg. Not enough of a weight distribution on the back press allowed Keith to get that left shoulder up.
Yeah, Tony was more over the midsection than over the shoulders.
Which may be a sign of just how exhausting this matchup is becoming.
Well, you can see Keith Haught right now. He looks like he's trying to get his wind as this match progresses here. You know, and unfortunately, like, you know, we did make the statement, you know, Keith Haught is not the athlete of the day, and that could be a disadvantage in the point of, like, right now, you can see his chest is heaving heavy. He's trying to suck for breath right now. You know, at some point, stamina may come into play here.
Yeah, it's a simple case of biology in some respects. He just has more mass to move around. He's going to need more oxygen to do that.
Sure.
A lookout. And again, using that unique frame to his advantage. And Keith Haught is inching closer to that elusive championship victory. And as devastating as it would be to Tony Johnson to lose the championship on his first title defense, it would be a championship coronation for Keith Haught, who has worked just as hard as Johnson over these years.
Sure.
Again, using that unique frame, hurling his body at Johnson for offense. Hooks the leg.
Johnson just getting that shoulder off the canvas.
And Paul, one thing that you've stressed throughout our time broadcasting here at Ryse is how important something as elementary as hooking the leg is. If you notice, these two feature presentation athletes never fail to do so.
No, and it's the little things like that that make or break you in a match of this caliber.
Stiff shot. Keith going for that backslide, shoulders down. Oh, jumping knee caught Keith, I believe, in the temple, and he clearly is staggered.
He landed that one perfectly.
As Keith is quite literally on the ropes. Does Johnson have enough left to really capitalize, to really push forward here?
Yeah, these guys have been going at it hard and heavy now for a good, probably close to 10 minutes. And you can tell it's taking its toll on both athletes.
Version of a Muay Thai clinch.
10 minutes.
There you go. Been 10 minutes.
Keith may be favoring that lower back. To your point from earlier, Paul, he was hooking the ankle to try to fold Keith over even more so than usual.
Trying to get that, use that weight of Keith Haught against him and get it over top of his shoulders. Forcing him not only to kick out, Johnson's weight, but his own weight as well.
And I think Keith is going to have to dig down here. How bad does he want that grand championship?
That kick.
Using his head as a battering ram of sorts. Both men, big mid-ring collision, go crashing to the canvas. And we're at a virtual stalemate here for the Ryse Grand Championship.
Both men out flat on their back. And I got to believe whoever can get to their feet first will have a distinct advantage right now in this matchup. That's if these men can either one of them can get to their feet right now.
Yeah, a double countout would yield the title to the champion via a draw, and neither one of these athletes want that. I mean, we heard Johnson's intentions earlier in the night.
Wow, big open hand slap now.
I don't think even the ample beards of either of these gentlemen are going to pad those shots.
Not at all.
Johnson almost trying to box the chin of Keith Haught.
Sure.
And the feeling out process is over here.
I was going to say, we talked about the friendship earlier, but that's going out the window now. These guys now realize they're in a fight for this grand championship.
And let's say it, Paul, I don't want to put the pressure on Keith Haught, but he needed a fair shake at the championship, and he's getting it. If he comes up short here, he's virtually going back down to the bottom of the ladder.
Oh, he's going to have to. He's going to have to because he will not have any complete. Before he had a case against why. Look out here.
Hooks those ankles. Victory roll. Johnson up and over.
Keith trying to block it. Tony Johnson was looking for it that time.
Yeah, you're correct, Paul. Keith went to the well once too often. Can't do that with an athlete the caliber of Johnson, who connects on the handspring. Home run shot, and he connected.
Tony's a bit beside himself after that.
So am I. I'm almost speechless. And talking is one of the few things I do well. And Johnson may have to go back to that title victory. May have to go back up top. But that's a risky shot to go for that kick off the top.
Sure he is here. But Tony Johnson has been known as a risk taker. He wants it all, so he's going to swing for the fences here. Keith Haught caught him, though.
I don't know if calling out the...
it might not be the best strategy.
Because he just alerted Tony Johnson to what he has planned. I mean, Keith is really, he's digging down. He's psyching himself up.
Sure. He has to.
Keith hangs on. Precarious spot for everybody.
He's getting this shot by the grace of his friend Tony Johnson in the not so much of a fair shake he got against Conard.
Look out! Oh, man.
Bonsai.
We got a new champ. New champ. No, just barely.
I don't think you can get any closer than that, Jim.
There was just inches of daylight between Keith Haught and Tony Johnson, and that allowed the Iceman to get his shoulder up and save his title.
I don't know if taking a water break's very wise right now.
I'm not sure if Johnson knows where he is. He may have kicked out on instinct alone. Ducks the kick. Catches the bicycle kick. And you want to talk about getting gritty. Oh, head right to the chin.
Using that head as a battering ram now.
That's how you can dislocate your jaw.
Sure. And again, calling his shot, so to speak.
But hey, maybe it works for him. He's been unconventional the whole way. Why not stick with it? It may take him all the way to the Grand Championship. Could be going for that signature splash. No water in the pool. You were right, Paul. He called it out, telegraphed it, and paid for it.
I know Keith likes to get the fans involved, but sometimes calling your shot is going to work
15 minutes gone by, 15 minutes.
to your disadvantage, and it did so there for sure.
It may be detrimental to his efforts here. The champion measuring the challenger. Keith avoids the contact. High kick.
Keith did not miss with his, though.
Johnson may be out. Jumping knee.
Wow.
This is tenacity right here. This is unfiltered tenacity. You are seeing the caliber of champions right here.
And I'll tell you what, win, lose, or draw.
Oh, man.
Here on top.
That may be the shot that puts the Bearcat down.
Or it can be. As I was about to say, win, lose, or draw, no matter who comes out on top.
They
It's
did
Tony
it.
Johnson, but you know what? Neither of these men have anything to feel bad about. This was one hell of a
As
matchup.
the result of a pinfall, and still your Ryse Grand Champion, the Iceman, Tony Johnson!
That was as hard fought comes. And wait a minute, Privilege.
What's going on out here now?
Privilege and MV Young have just hit the ring picking the bones. And we just talked about it. These guys gave everything in their bodies.
What is going on here? This is ridiculous.
This is disgraceful. That's what this is.
They didn't win the tag title, so now they're going to come out here and jump the champion?
A couple of vultures as a gavel tattoos the Iceman with his own championship. And I know we got monitors back there. Let's get some security, some help, something.
We need to do something.
Hashtag Privilege is trying to stain this main event.
Lawless! You bitter little loser! Cut the bloody music! This is exactly the kind of thing that I'm here to stop! And the rest of you, recidivists! Not in my Ryse. Not in our Ryse.
Well, the GM's out here to put these guys in check, thankfully.
I'll stop all three of you miserable reprobates, myself, because I told you not to start the party without me.
What?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Paul, they were playing with a marked deck. They were playing with a marked deck.
I don't believe what I'm seeing here.
The Gavel and Sterling were in this thing together. It didn't matter who won last month. The power is all the same. The whole scenario was rigged. And who the hell does Jim Sterling think he is?
What in the world?
What, this guy thinks because he has 1 million YouTube subscribers, he can come in here and try to have a hostile takeover?
Apparently that was the plan all along.
What the hell's your problem, Sterling?
Oh no! You think you've accomplished something tonight, gentlemen? You stand against the ruling class. You stand against not the general manager, but the executive commander of Ryse. And you inconceivable morons, have no idea what you've done. We shall make from your bodies a monument of pain. You stand against us, and you will burn. We will burn you.
This walking waterbed should get the hell out of here.
Seriously.
We got set up, Paul.
Unbelievable. This big glob of goo comes out here talking about the new Ryse, and then he gets in bed with these morons?
All right, Paul, I guess we're going to have to sign off here.
Might as well.
We can at least part with this shot. Tony Johnson, still Ryse Grand Champion.
The main event standing strong in the ring.
My name's Jim Amato. You're Paul Atlas. Ryse will debut in Baldwin, Pennsylvania on January 25th. Check out RyseWrestling.com, Ryse Wrestling on Facebook, and IndyWrestling.us for all the details. We will see you next time. Ryse in 2020 continues.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.